Well, good morning and happy Thursday, January 7, 2021. This is Steve Shultz with the Elijah List. Listen, if there's ever a time you need to be sure you're signed up to the Elijahs, go right there to ElijahList.com and sign up. We are in a period of time and social media are canceling people right and left, especially those who are conservative. They don't like what you say, you're gone. The same thing with YouTube. We want you to subscribe to the YouTube channel because we have about, I think it's 87,000 subscribers, and that's growing dramatically. But they could kick us off. But be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel in the meantime, in case they don't. We're not trying to blatantly violate rules, but we are people with free speech, so we don't promise not to say certain things or certain words. So you go to YouTube and hit the Elijah Streams. Just go to YouTube and then in the search box put Elijah Streams, and up we will come. Subscribe to that at the beginning of every show. It shows you how to do that. So, well, this is a little bit different today. Today you have only me, and it won't be a very long one, maybe 10 minutes, maybe a little more. Let's see how long it takes me to say the things that I want to say to you today. We had scheduled to have Manny on, a new prophet, and I thought, in light of the crucial moment where everybody's kind of like wondering what in the world's going on, I don't think I'm going to introduce a new prophet. I'll have him on in a few days because he's a great guy. But since you don't know him yet, I thought, well, I'm just going to get on and kind of give you an update from a prophetic perspective and tell you a few things that you may know and things you don't know. And so while we were doing the broadcast yesterday with Kat, right in the middle of it, we didn't know it at the time, the Capitol building was breached and all that stuff started happening. We had no idea. It was a great show, one of the best, with Kat, and people really liked it. It got lots of views and everything. And no sooner did I get off than my wife tells me that the Capitol's been breached and there's been shots fired, and I'm going, so as you can imagine, every prophetic person, every other person was glued to their TV sets and to their, social media and to Newsmax and different outlets to figure out what in the world is going on. And let me just kind of exhort you as viewers to give governments and journalists a few weeks to sort out what in the world happened yesterday, because I wanted to say only Antifa infiltrated, and they certainly did infiltrate the Trump supporters. The Antifa group totally, absolutely infiltrated them with carrying the flag, and Trump is my president and all that, and they got in there. But it is also true that some Trump supporters went in, so it's not a real clear picture what happened. Some of you, maybe all of you by now, have seen that video that got released that showed how some people got in. They literally, someone was rolling their camera when the park police opened up these portable gates, just pulled it open and started stepping back. Some backed up, walking backwards. The others just turned around, turned their backs on the people. And there was a guy going like this, right, and to come into the Capitol building. So those people in that particular group, I don't know what the timeline was, those people breached nothing. The gate was open for them, and they walked through, not violently. I don't know if this was early on. I don't know if this is after it had been breached and there was violence. I don't know when it happened, but give it time for that to come out and find out who gave those police authority to openly let the people in. Trust me, if you haven't seen it, you will, because it's everywhere. Look at YouTube and put police open the gate, the Capitol. You'll find versions of it on YouTube. And on the Google, whatever, you'll find it. So give it some time to find out exactly what happened. I believe 99.9% of, maybe 99.999% of the Trump supporters were peaceful. It was a good rally. Trump's rallies are not known for violence. Again, we don't know if any of the Trump supporters went in and used violence. It is possible that they did. I tend to believe that any violence came from Antifa. They did find 2 bomb devices, one close to the Republican offices and one close to the Democrat offices. And so there was violence in the streets. But give it some time to find out. It's not, it's a shame on any of us that we would be involved in violence. So whether it was Trump supporters or Antifa or any other third party, violence is not okay. It's not all right. Anyone that used violence probably should pay a penalty like some prison time, because you shouldn't use violence. Now, a woman was apparently shot right in the neck, chest. She died quickly. They said she looked like she was gone at the hospital before they, because they brought a hearse to pick her up, not an ambulance, from what I saw. And so I don't know if she was a Trump supporter. I don't know if she was the other side. They said she was a 14-year veteran of the Air Force, so I tend to believe she was a Trump supporter. Was she part of that group where they just let her come in and she thought, oh, they're letting us go into the Capitol, we can protest? Who knows? And then whatever happened, as far as I know, this woman was not armed. Nobody has said that she was. And yet, so she appears to be an innocent woman who was shot and killed. So it's very, very unfortunate, and we're all hurting with you or praying for her family. I'm sure more will come, but give it time. Where do I want to go? This morning, everything appeared to change because Breitbart came out. Twitter came out. It came out on Twitter. It came out from Trump's staff that he said, I don't agree with how the results came out, but on January 20, there will be a peaceful transition of power, something like that. And it at least appeared, at least on the surface, and I would say it still appears on the surface, that Trump is throwing in the towel. I'm not sure that I believe that, and I'm going to give you some supporting things based on what some of the prophets are saying. We'll get the prophets back on, but there was, it's only 11 a.m. our time, and I'm not necessarily the earliest riser, so it took us a while to get everyone's feedback. And I only have some feedback from right now about 4 prophets. And also, by the way, tonight, we think Hank Kuhneman will be back on Flashpoint. We'll put that on Facebook. Last night they were on for 90 minutes. It was brilliant. The My Pillow guy was on there saying Trump will never concede. I'm going by memory, so you can watch that. It's on our site. But Flashpoint will put the link on whoever's going to be on, and that will give you some prophetic input tonight. That will be very, very good. Let me just point out that Facebook and Twitter and whoever else has blocked Trump's account. They blocked his account because he said, "Go home. I don't agree with elections, but go home. We're not people of violence. We're law-abiding citizens," and they froze his account. Now, I'm here to tell you, Facebook and Twitter would not freeze their account if they thought it was over. And when they came on this morning and said, we've frozen his account indefinitely, it means we may never bring it back. If they think and believe in their heart of hearts that it's over, why are they blocking him for the next at least few weeks? What is the purpose if they think he's already conceded? So that's a little bit of some things in the natural. So you may have picked up that I am not here today to apologize, not for myself or not for any other prophets. I will tell you this, if the day would ever come where Trump did not actually serve out the next 4 years, I would come on and apologize. I would say we got it wrong. I'm not expecting to do that. Time will tell, but I believe this thing has not played itself out, not even close to what the prophets are saying. I'm just going to tell you right now that of those who have been in touch with me this morning, Jeff Jansen said, it's not over, not even close. Johnny Enlow says it's not over at all. Everything that I've seen is not yet played out. It's very, very not over. Kat Kerr asked me not to share specifics because she was literally with the Lord. The Lord walks through her wall and they're together. So she was with the Lord, but she made it very, very clear. This is not over. This is in process. So she's not apologizing. And then of course the new prophet that I was going to have on today, Manny, has absolutely said this is not over. This is a time when God gets all the glory. And that's what the prophets have been saying all along, that this had to get to the point where God would get all the glory. So we titled this thing today, This is Your Red Sea. This is our Red Sea moment. Now you need to know that yesterday, before let's say before the Capitol was breached, and Trump went along there and said, "I've got a dog barking here." Trump went along and said, "I'm sorry, not Trump." Pence went along and did not fight it the way many people thought he would fight. Oh, I got some yard people. If you hear this part, no, you might hear a little noise. Hopefully, will not. So Pence decided not to fight it in the way people thought he would. When he capitulated on that, and please don't curse Pence because Pence is just a man. God is not up in heaven saying, "Oh shoot, I was going to make sure Trump got reelected." Now Pence did that. Pence did that. I have no idea what to do. That's not our God. God is not dependent on Vice President Pence for his will to be done, and you need to know that. I think everyone intuitively knows that God didn't need Pence in order for Trump to serve out the next 4 years. He didn't need Pence. And so don't curse Pence, and be careful which rumors you believe. There's some awful rumors floating around. I doubt they're true. I don't think there's any truth to that, but just don't agree with the enemy on that. But yesterday, when he did that, there was sort of a line of demarcation that now, for the first time, we're at the Red Sea. All these 2 months we've been talking about, this is a Red Sea moment. This is a time when we come to the Red Sea. Everyone says, yep, we're going to believe this is like the Red Sea. We weren't there until this morning. This morning when Trump said, okay, I don't agree with this, but there'll be a peaceful transition of power on January 20. Now we're at the Red Sea. This is the first time in multiple prophets. I could name them almost, but I kind of hate to do it in case I forget somebody. But multiple prophets have said over and over during these 2 months, this is a Red Sea situation. Well, the Red Sea, what happened in the Red Sea? What happened in the Red Sea? Israel, the children of Israel were brought to the body of water that supposedly this is where they were going to worship. And Pharaoh decides to take off after them. I don't know how long they were there before this happened. And the people began to cry out to Moses, saying, did you bring us out here to die in the desert? We should have just stayed there. So there's all this complaining, and every single natural possibility for staying alive was gone. Pharaoh was just going to wipe them out. It doesn't matter. I wondered if they even waved a white flag, if they would have killed them, if Pharaoh would have killed them anyway. It becomes a Red Sea moment only at a point in time when all natural remedies or solutions are gone. Suddenly, we are at a place when all the electoral college thing we might have depended on, all of the what we thought Vice President Pence would do, all that we thought other people would fight at the electoral, especially the electoral legislators in those battleground states, all those in the natural appear to be gone. Finally, for the first time today, we're at the Red Sea. So this is, you could say, in a sense, because we know what happened at the Red Sea, this could be called a celebratory moment, because now we get to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. You know, so I just want to exhort you with that. What else do I want to say? I'm pretty well said that what I want to say. I want to exhort you to hold on. I do not believe this is over. And the prophets that I quoted do not believe this is over. We are not apologizing. If somebody else apologizes and you say, well, they apologize, why don't you? I'll just say, okay, they apologize. I'm not here to do that at this time. If Trump doesn't serve his 4 years or he doesn't begin to serve out the next term, I will apologize. Okay, is that fair enough? Some have said enough is enough. They don't want to have any faith anymore. And I'm saying to you, this is the first moment in time we've actually been at the Red Sea. Yet every one of us have been watching this, who we've believed for this time, we've said, yep, this is a Red Sea time. We're going to wait for the Lord to just pull us up. That was never really doable by the Lord. If he could do it through Pence's coming alongside and saying, okay, let's challenge this. That's not Red Sea. That's natural abilities that someone could have said they didn't even learn. You know, here's my dog barking, so I'm probably going to get off about now. So sorry for the dog barking. Okay, well, listen, that's it for today. God bless you. We do have one scheduled tomorrow, but in all of this flux, we'll announce it for sure. We have Mario Murillo, but we were having trouble getting hold of him today, so we want to make sure he's on tomorrow. If he's not, we will have a prophet on tomorrow to process this with you. Or probably one of those that we mentioned today. Probably among Jeff, Kat, Johnny, or Manny, we'll have tomorrow to talk about this. And it will encourage you, it will build you up, and stay in love, keep your love on, keep your faith on, keep your humor on, trust the Lord. He's no different today than he was yesterday, and he won't be different. He's always has had his plan. On November 3, 2020, on November 3, 2020, he knew who would breach the Capitol, he knew how many would be shot, and he knew who would die that day. And because we've been praying all of this time, all of these months, there could have been a bloodbath yesterday. But because our prayers went into heaven, when the Lord knew how he would need those prayers, there was a very few injuries. They said 13 arrested, 2 shots rang out, 2 people were shot, 1 died. I'm not sure who the other one was, so I'm not even 100% sure there was 2 people. So, all right, that's my word for today. Be encouraged. I am. Keep your love on, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.